Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today I have this detailed step-by-step bridal makeup tutorial for you all. Let's just get right into the video. Okay, so to start a bridal makeup, you have to clean up the brows, your bride's brows. You have to clean it up so that the brows can look flawless. Remember, it's her big day. Okay, then when you're done carving her brows, then you wipe away all the fallout and any dirt. You can also use micellar water for this step. Then after that, you moisturize. See, she's going to be dancing all day, and you need to make sure that her face is properly hydrated so that her makeup can last longer, because you're going to be applying layers and layers of product on her face. So you need to do this step and make sure you apply and blend it properly into her skin. Then the next thing is I'm going to use a pore minimizing primer. She has like lots of open pores, that's why I opted to use this primer. This is from Zaron. So I put this on her T, I applied this on her T-zone, avoiding under the eyes. The eyes would only remain hydrated, that's with the moisturizer, so avoid the eyes with any other primers. I know you guys will be saying I'm using a lot of primers, but pardon me, it is her wedding day and you need to make sure that she is properly prepped. Her makeup is going to last the whole day. So I went in with that Huda Beauty mattifying primer, and I also sealed it up again with my Becca mattifying primer. So everything together is going to hold her makeup down. So the next step is foundation, highlight and contour. For foundation, I'm making use of Maybelline Super Stay and L'Oreal True Match foundation. The reason why I'm using these two is because one is thicker and one has like a very sheer consistency. So I had to mix both of them together to get her exact shade. And the reason why I also used both of them is because one is on the warmer side, so it matches perfectly with the bright undertone, while the other one is like a darker shade of foundation, but both of them together gives me a perfect shade for the bride, as you can see. Okay, so you can mix your foundation based on other undertones, based on how thick they are. You can mix a thick foundation with a sheer foundation, or you can mix a full coverage foundation with a medium coverage foundation. Just feel free to like play with what you have. Okay, so for highlight, I'm making use of Huda Beauty in the shade Chocolate Mousse to highlight her face. Don't worry guys, I'm going to leave all the details and the shades I use in the description box, so please feel free to check. So I like to use my brush to place the foundation first before I go ahead to blend. This gives me like a proper placement, so, and a proper outline, so I don't go out of that outline. That is why I always use a brush to apply first, and as a beginner I would advise you to do this step as well. So place the products where you want it to be, then you blend out with a damp beauty sponge. So I know most of you are wondering, why do I use foundation to highlight the face? I feel it is more budget friendly to use foundations, because as a beginner makeup artist, you have different shades of foundation. So I feel it is so much on you as a burden that you buy foundations, then you buy concealers. So if you have foundations, please, as long as there's a light shade, there's a medium shade, feel free to use those foundations as your concealers. Okay, so you can use it to highlight, and you can also use it to conceal the brows, your client brows as well. So you don't have to break the bank to get foundations and then get concealer. So it is really budget friendly. So going further to like snatch up this bride's face, I'm going in with my Imagic lip palette to contour her face and also act as a blush as well, a cream blush for me. So I like to mix both together, that is the blush, the red and the pink, then I add the brown towards the end as my contour. This is what I like to do, and it gives me an excellent result. So if you are an upcoming makeup artist, please, you feel free to try this step and let me know in the comment section what you think. Okay, so blend it out, and please don't go stop at the end of the eyes. Don't go beyond the end of the eyes when you are contouring your client's face. Okay, it helps to lift the face better when you stop at the end of the eyes. That's just the proper way to contour. So because of the blush I applied after highlighting her face, I'm just going to like touch little of the remaining chocolate mousse on my hand and blend the highlight into place, so there's no start and stop point. Then I go further to apply my setting powder to the highlighted areas, especially under her T-zone. Please, for bridal looks, please don't bake first. I would advise you bake later. For the first step, just push in the powder into the client face first, especially around those highlighted areas, that's the T-zone. Please make sure you keep pressing in the setting powder all over the T-zone. Then after that, you can go ahead to bake if you still want to. This gives a better result, and it will help avoid the under the eyes creasing in the course of her dancing or sweating and everything. Note that I also apply the setting powder on her smile line because she's going to be smiling a lot for pictures. So you need to do this step so that even if she smile, at least there's something still holding her smile line in place. Okay. So after setting in place the highlighted areas, please go all over the client's face with her exact powder shade. Here I'm making use of V Beauty powder palette, and that is what I'm using. I'm using her exact shade to go all over the face. Don't forget to also go over the highlighted places as well. So using this Zaron powder, I like a bright under eyes, and for a bride it's important that you do everything, add every effort, any little effort, to make sure that the face is properly highlighted, especially under the eyes. Okay, as a beginner, you should know that the trick to get the perfect contour is to go 2 shades darker for the side of the face and 1 shade darker for the bridge of the nose. Please focus on these 3 points to get your proper contour placement on the client. So if you're a beginner and you're struggling with nose contour, thank me, because you have just found the ultimate trick. So place your setting powder on the bridge of the nose. Use that as a guide when contouring the bridge of the nose. Remember to go with 1 shade darker to contour the nose, except when the person is extremely dark and you need to use a really dark contour powder to contour the nose. You can also do like a cream contour to help with the definition. After that, because you want more details and because she's a bride, you want everything chiseled and mapped out right, I'm doing like a reverse contour with setting powder. So I did that on the bridge of her nose to make it sharper, and I'm also going by from the side of the face, and I'm using the top of the lip as a guide. So use the top of the lip as a guide when doing a reverse contour. So I'm placing setting powder on her neck because when I finish everything, I want everything to be blended and even. For a bride, it's important to do this step if the client has hyperpigmentation. So the next step is eyebrow and concealing. I did the brows off camera, so I'm just going to conceal. So for concealing, you need to have a light shade, that's the highlighted shade you use under the eyes, and her exact foundation shade. So for this light shade, place it on the brow bone for it to be highlighted, more defined. Okay, then when you are done with the brow bone, use the exact concealer shade for the tail part of the brows, and you can also use this concealer shade, her exact concealer shade, for the beginning of the brows to give a natural finish. So when you are done concealing and you want to blend, please tap on the highlighted foundation shade or concealer shade, then place it to blend. See, this changes the game. It gives a very smooth blend and finish, and you can also bring it down the eyelid and use as an eyeshadow base as well. So moving on to one of the most important stage of a bridal makeup, we are moving over to step 4, which is eyeshadow application. See, for a bridal look, you need to bring out your A game. So I'm using this eyeshadow base from Benye. Is the clown white eyeshadow base. Please blend thoroughly. So I'm starting with her exact powder shade as my first transition color. I'm just going to put this at the inner corner of her eyes, blend it towards the nose and also towards the outer corner of the eyes. As you can see, I'm doing it in tapping motion. Firstly, because I just placed an eyeshadow base. Most times if you don't tap and you go ahead to swipe, the eyeshadow is going to start creasing. It's going to leave horrible lines that you will find it hard to blend later. So when you are using an eyeshadow base and probably it is not the type that dries up immediately, please tap your transition shade on it. Then moving forward, I'm using this eyeshadow palette from McGrath, and I'm using the burgundy shade there to also define her crease. So as you can see, because I've already patted that place dry with the face powder, it's easier for me to blend now. Then I also made use of the McGrath palette and I used in a dark brown shade. So for the eyelid, I'm using this NYX glitter primer as my base because the eyeshadow I'm going to be using from the McGrath palette has sparkles on them, so it's almost like a pigment. So I needed to use the NYX glitter primer as a base so that the eyeshadow can hold. And the reason why I also use it is because for some reason when you use a glitter primer as an eyeshadow base, guys, it makes the eyeshadow pop out more. So because I don't want any harsh line, I went in with my blending brush just to blend everything together, and I'm using this liquid eyeshadow for the inner part of the eyes just to make it pop out a bit. So this is like a very bronzy look that I'm trying to achieve with a tint of a reddish, or would I say burgundy pigment too. That is what I'm tapping all over the eyelid. So the color of her dress is ox blood, so I don't want to stray away from that. So I'm putting that in mind when I'm applying the eyeshadow. So it is always important for you to ask your client exactly what the color of the day is and what the color of her dresses are, so that you'll be able to know how to properly blend or choose your eyeshadow so that they can all match. So for under the lash line, I'm making use of that brown shade I use for the outer corner of her eyes. Then I'm defining the inner corner of her eyes or underneath the waterline with this liquid eyeshadow. So step 5 is eyeliner application. So I'm using my Zaron eyeliner to line the waterline and to give her a little wing. So as a beginner, when lining the eyes, try as much as possible to keep like a steady hand and give the best way to even get the perfect liner is, or the perfect lining is, to maintain a straight line. Like pull her face and just follow like a straight line. If you see when she's closing her eye, you see that it's a straight line. Guys, that is just the trick. There's no rule to this thing. Just maintain a straight line and push it to the outer corner of her eyes to get like a perfect wing. But if you still want a detailed tutorial on how to like draw or get the perfect wing for your client, please let me know in the description box. And don't forget, if you have not subscribed to this channel, now is the perfect time to hit on that subscribe button. So having done that, I'm using my Ferraruci mascara. You guys know I use this mascara a lot on this channel, so to clean up every fallout from her lashes. Then I go in with my false lashes as the next step. But first, before I do that, I'm using that same brown shade from the McGrath palette to deepen this outer corner of her eyes. So the next step is eyelash application. If you want a detailed tutorial, I have one on my channel, but it's how to fix your lashes yourself. So if you want how to fix lashes on a client, please let me know in the comment section. So moving on to the 10th step, which is lipstick application. Outline the lips with your favorite brown lipstick, lip palette, whatever you have. You need to always line the lip. You can also make use of a brown pencil if you have as well. So the trick is, whenever you apply any shade, get another blending brush and blend it into the first color you applied. So now I'm applying this nude pink, then I'm going to use my blending brush to blend it into the brown to give a very ombre effect. I'm not taking out the brown, but I'm just blending it into it. So because I want more pop, I'm going in with a lighter shade from my Imagic lip palette, and I'm blending the white shade and the nude shade together, so there will be no start and end point of the line. Then I'm going with a clear gloss to just gloss up the lid. What is a bridal look without ending it up with a gloss? Like, this is like the most important step. Then I'm using the edge of, or the tip of my brush to apply this, because I find that it makes the lip application smoother. Then I'm using my mascara. Guys, for a more detailed bridal gele tutorial for beginners, just watch the next video. It promises to be really detailed, step by step. You guys know I always go all out. Okay, so I'll see you in that video.